All right, we are live. We live, we live, we live. Didn't really expect to come on today, guys, but I had to. Because there been some happenings. So I'm gonna give it a second to allow a couple of people to be able to come on in because we're gonna get into it. Got a little bit to say. Right now I'm on the road headed to the Oakland area of Pittsburgh. I got my struggle lighting going on. You know, it's getting dark out here. I'm in the car. Look at that studio lights in here, guys. But I'm gonna let a couple more people come on in because we're about to go in. So let me get right into it. Today, I remember there used to be a song, London Bridges Falling Down. I don't know what the roots or the history of the song was. People used to say it all the time. But I'm over here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, city of bridges, Iron City beer, if you drink that, if you will. Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to Ben Roethlisberger retiring. What else? We have the Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates, another franchise. Had a lot of has-been success. They've been kind of robbing the city for years. You know, I wouldn't go to a Pirates game for anything. You know, they're not putting a good product out there. It's just terrible. But let me tell you how the Pittsburgh Pirates kind of represent the city of Pittsburgh. Like the city of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates used to have a glory day. You know, back in the 70s, they had Honus Wagner. They had oh man. Oh my goodness. Why am I going blank here? Y'all gotta help me out. I'm only 39. I'm lying. 29. Or am I lying? Whatever the case. No, but they had a lot of Steelers greats. And forgive me for not, mentioning up front the Roberto Clementes, the Willie Stargels. You know, the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise had some great things going on for some time, right? We had some greats. They went to win the World Series in the 70s. I wasn't even born. They had a pretty good run in the 90s. Anyone remember in I think it was 94 or 95? The Pirates, they went to the ACLS, ALCS, sorry. And Barry Bonds couldn't throw out Ed Breen because he was too fast, right? Yeah, we all remember that. And then from there, the Pittsburgh Pirates had went into a dark season. Don't mind all the traffic around me. I'm driving safely. I got my seatbelt on. I'm paying attention. But yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they had a dark period. I remember, one of my first jobs, it was an outdoor sales job where I had to go door to door to sell Pittsburgh Pirates tickets. And they had this great deal. Shout out to anyone who had one of those jobs. I would go up on the porch and I would offer this deal where you could get for $40 like all these tickets. And I was getting thrown out. Hey, get off my porch. Let me get vulgar for a second. Cocksucker, beat it. Because the Pirates sucked. Let me tell you how that correlates to the city of Pittsburgh. The city of Pittsburgh, the city of steel, as it was known, the city of bridges, as it's known right now, the city where you could come in with a white shirt, clean, and it might be black when you leave from the set. You know why? Because they had them steel mills running and they was making that money. There are a lot of people who talk about their grandparents, their aunt and uncle who used to work in the steel mills. So Pittsburgh was prosperous, had close to a million people living here at one point. But after that, a lot of people left the city because the steel mills ended up closing. Our businesses ended up getting outsourced into other places. Shout out, unfortunately, to China, NAFTA, all that stuff. The jobs were leaving, and the city went into a depression. And in the process of it, okay, of this depression, we ended up going from having almost a million people living in the city of Pittsburgh. Hold on, I got to merge lanes. Let's see if someone lets me in. If not, I'm a bully. All right, there we go. So down to about 300,000 in the city of Pittsburgh. Now, the greater city, Pittsburgh area might be about a million. That's when you include like the bigger part of Allegheny County, all the little suburbs and things like that. But that's neither here nor there. People were in the city. It was the place to be. Business was booming, as Antonio Brown would say. So, what's up, Swanee G in the building? But we were booming. City was great. People were making money, and then we go and outsource all these jobs, and people leave. So if anyone remembers in 2007 and 8, whenever the real estate market crashed, there wasn't really an effect in the city of Pittsburgh because we were already depressed. So there was no downward price of our mortgages. We were already at the bottom. We didn't start at the bottom, but we're here. So, city of Pittsburgh, we're in this depression for years. We have a couple of mayors. I remember when I was a kid, there was Sophie Masloff, woman. At some point, there was Luke Ravenstahl. He had his things going on. And then we get Bill Peduto, Bike Lane Bill, as they like to say. Now, they say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I'm not going to say that the city of Pittsburgh's infrastructure just went to hell in a handbasket just during the time of Peduto, because that's not true. But what I will say is that when Peduto was in office, a lot of his focus of funds were towards projects that were meant to transform Pittsburgh into a technology hub, to transform Pittsburgh into California, basically, to try to make it Silicon Valley 2.0. That's what the focus was. Here's the problem, okay? You can't focus on decorating the cake if you ain't got the ingredients right. If you ain't baking it for the right amount of time. If you don't get the right amount of eggs, you can't shortcut it. And that's what's pretty much going on in the city of Pittsburgh. Today, we had a bridge collapse. And this isn't, it's not a bridge that would be recognized. Most people didn't even know it was a bridge. They just thought it was a regular street. I always knew. There's an area called Frick Park. And Frick Park, there's a bottom area where, people walk their dogs and go walk and run on the trails and things like that. Great. There's a ravine down there, all that stuff. But this bridge is like a major connector between two neighborhoods. Okay. Now, thank God for, at least as far as I know right now, no casualties. And that's definitely great. From the thing I seen in the news, there were at least 10 people injured, 4 taken to the hospital at the time. I hope that nothing is reported as worse. But when you see the images of it, because it's on national news, guys, if you're not from Pittsburgh, You're probably thinking Pittsburgh is Philadelphia. It's not. We're on the west, lower southwest part of Pennsylvania, nowhere near Philadelphia. We, take pride in having our hard work ethic. We usually, most of us, like the Steelers. Sometimes I'm a hater, but please forgive me, guys. And there are other things positively and negatively that the city of Pittsburgh is known for. We are coming up in the technology area. We have hubs for Google, Facebook, Microsoft, all in the city of Pittsburgh. Amazon's about to come. Amazon is about to come. Let me repeat that. Amazon is about to come. Yeah, we have little warehouses, where you can pick up the Amazon and for the deliveries and stuff like that. But we're about to have a major change in one of our boroughs right outside of the main city of Pittsburgh. But anyway, so back to what I was saying, the infrastructure, right? This bridge, people say, maybe it was due to the ice and whatever. There was a bus, and this wasn't one of the regular buses. This was like the I don't know what they're formally called. I call them like the double wide buses, the real long ones. Like if anyone saw Shang-Chi, the one, he was in the middle of it. It turns and all that. But whatever the case, the bus went down on the bridge. And this isn't the first time we've had situations like that. Anyone who's been paying attention to Pittsburgh, a couple years ago, we just had a sinkhole in downtown Pittsburgh with a bus, sticking out. There's a meme about it. Look it up whenever you get a chance. We've had a highway right outside of the main city on what's called Route 30 collapse over a cliff, and then there was a landslide that destroyed some homes, some apartments that were right behind it. So we're no strangers to infrastructural problems. Here's where the problem is. Along the way, you have to take account of these things. You have to examine these things. You have to test these things out. But they did. You can look at the city data, website and see that they've been testing out these bridges. They have ratings on them. There was one, the Halton Bridge. It was kind of scary. If anyone remembers the old Halton Bridge, I'm getting darker out here. Man, it's getting dark. But the old Halton Bridge, you would be on it, it'd be swaying left and right, and you'd be scared that the bridge is going to blow away. But they replaced that one. But this one, they should have known about. And the problem is that somewhere along the line, there's a misappropriation of funds, because rather than focus on funding into the bridges, our city focused the funding into things like bike lanes. Hey, if you want to exercise and ride bikes, great. If you want to save the environment, great. But whether you're in a bike or a car, you can't go safely if you have bridges and streets that are cracking. So that's why I said, before you get into the decoration, you have to make sure that the base recipe is okay. You have to make sure the foundation's right. That's where the previous administration, we have a new mayor this year, shout out, congratulations to Ed Gainey. And, I hope that he really, does well in it and has success, because the success of Ed Gainey in Pittsburgh is going to measure the success that we have as Pittsburghers. So I really hope that he does great. But the previous administration failed us. They failed us. They focus on the wrong things. And this is an ongoing problem that ends up happening. So where do we end up going, from here? Because President Biden either still is or was in Pittsburgh today to talk about infrastructure. Some people say there was a coincidence that him coming to talk about infrastructure, today, and then the bridge collapsed. I don't know, whether to get into the conspiracy side, all like that. Um, it is something to think about, you know, but it's something we have to consider. And the only way that we can be able to get things done is that people have to be willing to show up and speak up at council events, be able to talk about their concerns. And once again, Ed, if you are watching this, I wish you the best, because I do think that you have the heart of the city, you know, and your on your heart and your mind. But we got to do better. We got to push for better. So if anyone hasn't had the chance, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. What's up? Come on in, Elbro. This is my man Elbro. He's a barber down here in Natural Choice, over cutting them up. But see, you got your ski mask on and everything. All right, yeah. Yeah, but if you guys get a chance, be sure to come down. If you're in the city of Pittsburgh, come down, get a haircut, the Natural Choice. Support small businesses like this. But in the meantime, as far as the city, they have work to do, and we can't just talk about the federal funding of it all, because we have city taxes, we have real estate taxes, we have state taxes. So along the way, there has to be a proper appropriation of funds, and there has to be a proper call to action. So if you're in the city of Pittsburgh, I would say to voice your concerns in regards to these things. If you're not in the city of Pittsburgh, best believe, America's infrastructure, it probably sucks in other areas also. So be sure to, let your local people know that, hey, before we start on that next flower mural, we want to make sure these streets and bridges are right. We want to make sure that we don't have to keep on driving through potholes, breaking our axles and stuff like that. But I'm gonna wrap it up on this. If you're watching from Facebook, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, William A. Thomas. I'll be talking about more things like this, usually from a financial and a business perspective, but this was just something on my heart. And with that, that's some food for thought. I'll let you do the dishes.